My goal was to make the best, most effective nutritional supplement available in the world for our performance horses. And I want to dedicate this video to the horses and the great people with the big hearts in my life.
Well, Heather and I have been friends for a long time, and she's got a tremendous background in horse nutrition. She had called and said that she wanted to come up with some vitamins for horses, all-in-one supplements. And knowing Heather like I do, it was either going to be right or it wasn't going to be. So when she started her development in the research phase type of thing, I was actually one of the ones that she sent things to try. It's just been night and day with my gelding. He's a real kind of a hard keeper, and when he was a 3-year-old, I couldn't get any weight on him. He looked like I wasn't feeding him, real stringy, real poor. Probably 6 weeks to 2 months at the most, he just bloomed. It was absolutely, somebody just turned a light switch on inside of him. And he started to gain weight, he filled out, his muscles, he's ripped, he looks good, he feels good, and he just started to work. He wanted to work before, but he didn't have the physical ability to do it as far as nutritional support. And with the Synergy, he just went to working and shutting the clock off faster. He thinks he's all that. And he kind of is, actually. He feels good from the inside out, and I think that's the key.
The reason that I created the company Velocity Formulas and the product Synergy Compete, first and foremost, was obviously out of a need, since I am a competitor and a barrel racer, and I couldn't find a product that suited my needs. And growing up in the human nutrition industry, my family has an herbal nutrition corporation that's 80 years old, and I looked at the other supplements available and I knew I could do better, kind of without sounding, I looked at them and I thought, I can do this. And I went to graduate school, I studied equine nutrition, and it finally just came to a point where I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this for my horses, I'm going to do this for my competitors' horses. And it took about 15 years of research and trial, and finally got it put together.
Since he's been on the Synergy, what I've really liked about it, what I've really noticed about him, is he stresses out when he travels. And he does not seem to do that, not near as bad on the Synergy. He doesn't stress as much. He recovers faster from trips, from being away from home 3 or 4 days, and he also recovers faster after a run.
How did he stress? What was he doing?
He would get nervous and quit eating by the time I would leave after 3 or 4 days, and then come home and be a real picky eater, and I'd worry about him whether he was going to colic or, just generally not feeling good.
And he stopped doing that once?
He stopped doing that with the Synergy this year. I was shocked. And that's the only thing I can attribute it to, because his hay and everything else is the same.
Nothing has changed?
Nothing's changed.
Was it difficult to find the quality of ingredients? It wasn't difficult to find the quality because the human grade ingredients are readily available. It was a challenge on whether or not we could afford it and whether or not the consumer was going to be willing to pay for it. And what I found is that they are. When they see the results, they're more than happy to pay for quality.
We just wanted to see if we could find something that would give them a little bit of extra energy so they would run better. Oh yeah, it has definitely worked. Matter of fact, the mare that I'm running now, this is her 2nd year. And I was in the 5D a year ago. And I'm running right here today, I'm in the 2D. So that's the difference that this stuff has actually made. And I've been gradually working up between the 3D and the 2D, and she's just running so strong now, and she's a lot calmer too around other horses, and being only her 2nd year, that's just a tremendous of what this stuff has actually done for her.
Well, besides the, schooling and studying each ingredient and keeping up on all the research and following the FDA, following the USDA, following all the private research, which was really important because the private industry is way more advanced than a lot of the government associations are. So I followed all that. I did all the research, and then and I fed every product you could possibly find on the market, and tried each ingredient. And out of trial and error on my own personal horses, I found a balance on what I felt they needed as a performance horse, not just a regular horse, but a performance horse.
Needed a supplement, but I have a mare that's really hot, really on the muscle, and I wanted to give her something that wouldn't make her even sillier and hotter, and that really did that. It made her feel good, it made her work hard but not be stupid. And then after I got it home, I started feeding it to my yearlings, and the growth is incredible. Their coats are good, everything looks great.
I think the neat thing about it is that people will spend their money on it and they see a result almost within a couple weeks. They'll start noticing that they'll start maintaining weight better, they'll have more focus on their performance horses. Very rarely does it make a horse hot. And they'll start seeing at about 3 weeks or something a strengthening in their top line, and their coat will get real shiny. It has flaxseed in it. And they'll get freer moving. They'll start moving more freely. And it's almost within a couple weeks you start seeing the results. So people they're happy with it because they don't have to wait and they're not wasting their money.
We wound up winning a 30-day supply of it. And so we thought, well, we'll go ahead and try it, but I didn't want to put it on horses that I was hauling down the road right off. And so we had a mare that wound up with pigeon fever last fall, matter of fact, a year ago from this show. And she really got way down come wintertime. And I ran her this weekend. Her name's by far the fairest. She went, and like I said, I come close to putting her down because she got so low in weight. She was dragging a leg all the time and everything. And so came March, I told my wife, I said, we need to bring her in or do something with her. So we brought her in, and I started giving her this. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be out nothing for the simple fact that she's going downhill the way it is. So we put her on the Synergy, and next thing we know, I mean, she was fitted up. She looked almost like a halter horse. She bulked back up. All of a sudden, the muscle tone came back to her. I started working her along with the rest of the horses, and I've never lost a day on her ever since I put her back on it. So that was very impressive with me. And we've wound up putting 3 head of horses on. I've got an old 19-year-old gelding that my wife used to ride, and we put him on it, and I noticed he started feeling real good because we've had foot problems with him in the years past. And all of a sudden, he doesn't show any lameness or anything of when I trim him or anything like that. And she prefers Buck, which is the big yellow horse that I have been running. He's really came on for the simple fact he's bulked up this year. He really looks good. He's slicked off. It seems like his mind's kind of in the middle. And I feel like that's actually helped him to compete and get better as the years going on.
So I tried it on him for a month, and he was always really scattered horse. He'd turn before his barrels, or he would slam into them and just did weird things. If he did turn the first without turning in front of it, he'd run off the other way and just random stuff. So I started feeding him that, and in about 2 weeks he started really coming around and listening really well. I mean, I could barely get through a pattern before, and he's been running 17.9s, 18.0s, and really focused. He hasn't been doing anything weird. Runs right up there. He listens really good, which is good. So I fed it for about a month, and I became a dealer because I've fed everything under the sun, and nothing's worked like this.
Being a veterinary technician, I know about animal nutrition, and I feel that Synergy has everything in it that requires the equine athlete to have.
I heard about Synergy through my sister-in-law. She's the dealer in Northern California. And I gave it to my mare. She's a hard keeper, and I started trying that about 2 months ago, and she's really held on her own. So my older mare, she has a hard time keeping weight on. She's a long wiener dog looking horse, and so finding a good supplement is kind of crucial just to make sure that she keeps fit and good condition on her, keeps the weight on.
The one thing is it's awesome for feet. I mean, I've noticed because I do my own shoeing, and with my own farrier work, I've noticed that I'm doing my horses a little more often, and the feet are really, really healthy on them. And that seems to be with all 3 horses that I've been doing, even the horse that I've had Navicular with. And he's a 19-year-old horse. I mean, when I go trim him up, I mean, his soul's good. With us living here in Nevada, and it has been very, very dry this year, and most of my horses are dry lotted. So, I mean, it's nothing for them to come up with cracked hooves, you know, broken quarters, things like that. And I haven't had that on the 3 horses that I have this on. It's wonderful.
Well, I have a good friend named Heather Coombs that I know she's gone to school, got degrees, and she's been working on this for years. And she had this like a sample packet to try, and it's funny because at first I didn't really want to try it in the middle of the year, you know, with rodeos and stuff. And I said, I was just out of my other vitamins. I thought, okay, I'll try it. And I started it at one race, it was on Saturday, so I tried it on Sunday. And by the next week, I went to a race, and he was so mellow, because usually he's real nervous, and I can't even put my rubber bands on, he'll spin in circles. And he was so mellow, I thought, he's not even gonna run. I just thought, this is gonna be funny, he's gonna go out there and lope. He's just so mellow. And so I went out there, and he was so focused, he did his job. It was just like easier than normal. And it was funny because we were the only one in the 1D that day. And it just was such a shock because of his mellowness compared to how he ran. And then he walked back out like he never did anything. And before, he'd always spin in circles, and he was just really calm. And ever since then, it's been over a year and a half, I've been on Synergy. I would not change it for anything. I've tried probably 4 different vitamins before that, and it just does everything I need. I don't even have to add anything to it. It's so easy to take when I go on trips and stuff. And it only took like a day or 2 for him to get used to the taste, and always gobbled it up since. So I'm just really excited about it. His coat's good. It's just everything's great. But relaxing and being very focused in his coat were the things I saw the most. But what just amazed me was in a week. I mean, it was like night and day in just a week, and that's pretty astonishing.